Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered! Today, it's going to be a match between Bisu and Soma here on Fighting Spirit. I will not show you what the map looks like, because if you don't know what Fighting Spirit looks like, then, I don't think you've watched very many of my casts, or watched very much StarCraft professional games. Alright, bottom left-hand corner, we have the Red Protoss player. It is Bisu, playing under his name-only star. And in the bottom right, we have Soma. He is a Zerg player from Korea. He's currently 23 years old, you guys, which is pretty darn young, but maybe not in esports terms. Currently plays in the amateur leagues, and he streams on, hang on a second. Okay, so, he doesn't stream. Doesn't stream, according to Liquidpedia. He does have some fairly recent results here. April 2019, he took first place in the Scylla Amazon Star League Season 4, 3-2ing Yoon. He 3-1 Zealot in a tournament back in January. So, I mean, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good amateur player. I mean, by amateur, he's actually getting money. I don't know how they define that, actually. But I don't know how much of a fight he's going to give Bisu here, but we'll see, man. Anybody can beat anybody in any game of StarCraft, and I'm sure you're just here to see Bisu. Been a while since he's been on the channel. That's a pool first play, though. That looks like about a 9 pool. Into Extractor Trick, maybe 8 pool. Into Extractor Trick here, and back on the other side of things, it's a Gateway first, so not a Forge Expand, which means he will have a Zealot ready to defend against any early Ling attacks. Once again, Bisu scouting the wrong direction. I don't know what it is about Bisu, you guys. It seems like about 90% of the games that I cast, he scouts the wrong direction on this map, looking for the Zerg player. It's very weird. I don't know what it is. It's basically a 50-50 chance, right? He just keeps flipping the coin and ending up on the wrong side. Meanwhile, the Overlord scouts the right direction for Soma. Comes on in and says, is there an expansion already? Was this a Nexus first play? How insane would that be? And it's not. But 6 Lings in production here. I really think Bisu needs to wall off as soon as Protosly possible. Because if not, a bunch of Lings are going to show up. That first Zealot's going to die. And with good micro, none of the Lings have to die. And then this Pylon gets killed, and I think that's it. I think that's it. So hopefully this isn't a short game for Bisu. Although this could be a sneaky twofer. You guys don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'd do that to you guys. So the Lings are cruising out here, and the probe sees it and gives Bisu some warning. That exactly 6 Lings are coming this way. Probably should wall off at some point here. Bisu, he is bringing another probe over to try to get something done. He's got about 300 minerals in the bank. He was going to go ahead and expand, but is he still just going to expand? Oh, Bisu. 6 Lings are no problem at all. I have 2 Zealots out now, and this is where we want to watch the health bars. 1 Ling does go down. So 2 Zealots and a straight-up engagement will take down 6 Lings, no problem. Which is, I mean, that's an amazing opening there from Bisu, getting the 2 Zealots out. Perfectly well done. 2 more Lings are in production, but I think that's it. Soma's like, I'm out. There's nothing else I can do here. I'm not going to kill these 2 Zealots. Maybe he doesn't believe in his micro enough. And I mean, really, there's another Zealot on the way, so it's only going to get harder the further on we get into this particular situation for Soma. Lings are like, alright, maybe we can hammer on this gateway a little bit, but maybe we can get some scouting off here too. I don't hear any more Lings dying, so that's really good stuff. Checking to see, is there a cyber core up here? Definitely not. So Bisu doesn't have a cyber core yet. He's tossing one up now. But for the time being, it's just probes, just getting his first assimilator. Meanwhile, in Zergville, first extractor in production here too. And he really should probably go for a 3rd base sooner rather than later, recognizing that Bisu doesn't really have the wherewithal to attack him all that much. And a 3rd base is what he needs if he's going to go ahead and actually keep up with... hey, check it out! If he's going to keep up with Bisu. So, hey! He was building a hatchery way up here in the top right. Beautiful stuff. I'm loving it a lot. Going to get some Sunkens here to wall off and then take us 4th up in that top right-hand corner. Very easy expansion patterns for Zerg on this map. They like it quite a bit. Forge in production here too. Warping in for Bisu. Is that what that is? That's a Forge, man. Is he going for upgrades or cannons? He really... I would be shocked if he makes cannons. He really should not expect any kind of a crazy attack here from Soma whatsoever. That is a pretty quick lair out of him, and the 3rd base is done. Just probing, or droning up and probing up both players here. Stargate opening is the tech, and scouting it with the Zergling. Man, Soma, pretty good scouts here, dude. I gotta say, he's getting some really good information on Bisu, and information is half the battle, or as G.I. Joe would say, specifically, knowing is half the battle, and that's exactly what the Zergling is doing here for Soma. He knows exactly what Bisu is doing, sees the Stargate opening, recognizes it's going to be Corsairs. He's got a Hydralisk Sten tossed down to deal with that, And his third base should be fairly safe for the time being. Are there more Zealots in production? Yeah, more Zealots in production here from Bisu. This is just more than defensive. He's going to use these to try to attack the third base in a couple of minutes as soon as he has sufficient numbers to do so. And then Soma will try to hold it. Again, with Sunkens and with Hydras is traditionally how that is done. Meanwhile, the Zerglings have map control, which just means that they pretty much have scouting information. Anything that moves across the map is going to have a hard time with it. Although, Bisu says, map control, schmap control. I'm going to bring my 4 Zealots out here and force you to deal with me. Am I coming for your natural? Am I coming for your third? He's really putting some doubt into Soma's face here. Face into his heart here. Man, 4 Zealots is actually a surprisingly large number of Zealots. And I thought that is not a creep colony at all. Oh, no. Oh, boy. More Lings are coming out here. The Zealots are like, you know what? We'll just take down your hatch. If you don't want to engage with us, you don't have to. The Lings going for the surround? They are. I don't think they have the numbers to do this, though. Alright, so 1 Zealot goes down. Drones coming in for additional DPS. And alright, so the Zealots are going to get cleaned up. They're going to take quite a few Zerglings with them, but overall, that's going to be it from those guys. Corsair going after Overlords, as is their wont. Hydralisks in production, though. Third base. We're getting any Sunkens yet? Maybe you don't need them. Maybe those 4 Zealots basically suiciding into the natural base means third base is safe at this point. I'm watching that production tab. It's more Zealots here, but it's not like it's a crazy number. It's just kind of one at a time. We've got 3. We've got another gateway here done. He's working on upgrades on that forge. He's not using it for too many cannons, except for the one down here at the natural. Oh, another cannon coming up. Never mind. Bisu wants 2 cannons. Surprisingly enough. And here we go. Here is where you start tossing down your creep colonies. And by that, I mean your evolution chamber and your hatchery. What the what, dude? Interesting. So he's just walling right now. I mean, I guess he doesn't need the Sunkens yet. The Zealots are moving out. The Lings identified that as happening. And now maybe you get a Sunken or you just get some Hydras and count on the wall to save you. Natural base is pretty safe. That's a good number of Hydralisks. They're getting speed. It's almost done here. Burrow's getting researched too, as well as metabolic boost for the Lings. So the Lings are finally fast. As you can see them zipping around here. Zip, zip, zip. Corsairs trying to find Overlords to kill, but they are pretty much all clustered exactly around these Hydras, and as such, they should be just fine. Meanwhile, that's a bigger group of Zealots this time. It is 6 Zealots pushing across the map. They have almost +1 attack. Just kidding. It's almost legs are done, though. Speed is good. Ooh, picking off Zealots here in the middle. Oh, almost got that one. But again, taking health off of them is good because they can't recover it. There's your Sunken. Sunken at the third base. Another Sunken coming up. Yep, that's another creep colony. That's a Spore to deal with the Corsairs. And yeah, this is just the traditional attack we've seen 100 times on my channel and 1,000 times elsewhere. This is just ZVP standard timings a galore. Sunken gonna get some decent shots off. And the Zealots, the important thing is here, the Zealots can't get a surround on that Sunken all that well. 2 are hammering it pretty hard, actually. And drones are forced to pull here. Oh, I don't know if there's enough. Another Sunken comes up just in the nick of time. But the drones fighting pretty good stuff. A lot of drones are getting picked off by the Zealots on the top there, but 2 Sunkens is a lot of damage. Oh, one of the Sunkens goes down, and these Zealots are technically still alive, although that one is toast, and this one is going to be toast very, very soon with 4 kills. Oh, man, he's getting more. He's got 5 kills. He's killing these drones. Yeah, does get finished off there before he can get any more kills to his name. So, not super well held, I'd say. Probably 5 or 6 drones went down during that attack, which is insane. But a lot of Zealots died there too, and that's a lot of army. So Soma is going for Hydralisks. He's just droning up as hard as he can right now, recognizing the threat is over. The Zealots are not going to push out across the map when there are Speedlings running around. Dark Templar in production, and Storm getting researched for Bisu too. So he's looking great. Early, we don't really have many criticisms for Bisu, and generally don't, but especially so far in this game. The problem for these DTs is, these Corsairs still looking around. Yeah, they're still trying to find stuff. There are Hydras and detection at the natural base, and the third base has a Spore and Hydras and a Sunken, so I really don't know what this DT thinks it's going to do. This detection range will cover that whole area, and the DT has to come in this area anyway, and that's a wall now. So that's a beautiful wall. DT is going to show up and just pretty much go home if Bisu's paying attention. Yeah, he sees what's up. He took the shots. He got out of there. No problem at all. Third base looks like it's being scattered out by Bisu along that left side. Lurker aspect being researched by Soma. Zerglings cruising in and trying to get some stuff done, but Cannon Zealot, pretty fantastic, especially if the Zealots have +1 attack, which they do. We saw them getting researched earlier. Lings have no attack upgrades or armor upgrades. We did just get started with +1 melee, but +1 ground carapace is done, which is shared by the Hydras and the Lings, which is nice. Which is nice to share those upgrades among friends. Throwing up some creep colonies here in the natural base too. I think, well, never mind, canceled one. Maybe he wants to move the Hydras out, and he needs to keep the Overlords protected, and so he's going to throw down a... Maybe a spore colony? Nope, that's a sunken. That is a sunken. Dragoons in production from Bisu. He recognizes there are lurkers on the way. Lurker aspect is almost done. So we go for Singularity Charge. We go for Observers. We go for Dragoons. We totally switch up the tech in response to the Zerg player switching up his tech. And Soma taking a 4th base as Bisu's taking his 3rd base along the left side as soon as he has the number of minerals he needs to do that. DT still trying to make stuff happen. Has 0 kills to his name. I kind of feel bad for the guy, honestly. I don't know what he expects to get done. He's scouting, I suppose. That's nice. Is there a base up here? No, right side base not been taken by Soma. He's saving that for later. Corsair's not doing a whole lot for Bisu either. Just kind of chilling as the army moves up the left side, just in case there's an attack coming into the 3rd base that would really wreck Bisu's day. Just preparing for that. But lurkers already popping. Lurkers burrowing themselves here at the main base. Sunken's at the front. Man, he is really gearing up for this attack. Soma is. He's down about 50 supply overall, which seems problematic. But here we go. Here come the Zealots. I don't know if the Zealots are going to do much against Sunkens and Hydras and Lurkers. But I don't know where you go. If you're Bisu, maybe you just pull back at this stage. Is that what you should do? Oh, man. The Lurkers are getting some serious damage done. Storm on the Lings, though. So many Zerglings dead. Lurkers, though, not taking that Storm. And the Zealots want nothing to do with Lurkers. Great Storm again. Sunkens firing away. Sport. Oh, they do take down one of the Observers, but there's still one there on the left side. Hydras are fighting. The Lurkers are doing serious work. And that Zealot count is down to 1 right now. Just Dragoons remaining. They don't want to fight against the Hydras at all. Hydra versus Dragoon in a straight-up fight. The Hydras are going to do better in that situation. Upgrades are fairly even. Ground 1 armor done for the Hydras. Ground 1 attack, rather. Ground attack level 1 done for... Oh, done for these Dragoons here. Holy, how many storms do you have? That is a huge number of storms. Where's your detection, though? High Templar are getting stabbed a little bit by the Lurkers. And you know what? Bisu... Maybe the... Oh, my goodness. The Ling wrap around here. Oh, free High Templar. Free High Templar. Gets a storm down. Misses there. 1 High Templar goes down. Another one taking serious hits and does get picked off there, too. Oh! Oh, the High Templar got picked off there. Nicely done by Soma. Great target firing. And Bisu pulls back. He's done some serious work here. He's done some damage. The Corsair's finding stuff to kill. I don't know. I guess we could find out by clicking on them, huh? 2 kills, 0 kills, 2 kills, 1 kill. I don't think so. I think maybe some Overlords, but really not that many. Man, another attack coming in. But only 2 observers present. Oh, 3 observers present. He really has redundancy set up here. The thing is, Bisu is expanding along this right side, which, holy smokes, dude. That is some gutsy expansion pattern for sure. Oh, the Lings could have maybe taken down these cannons if they'd attacked instead of sitting there. But they scattered it anyway. Ooh, some Overlords getting picked off here at the top right-hand side of the map. There's nothing here to stop this from happening. Nicely done. Is that going to supply block Soma? Nope. It is not, but it's 140 to 103 supply. Bisu is just looking so strong right now. It's going to have 4 bases to the 4 bases of the Zerg player. Close to supply blocking Soma right now. More Overlords are not actually in production, but Adrenal Glands is on the way. And the army in here to defend this newfound 4th base. Some Hydras trying to come up this ramp, but this is a hard place to assault. If you're Zerg, coming up ramps is just suicidal. And honestly, the same story goes for Protoss. Attacking up a ramp against a Zerg opponent, especially if they have Lurkers up there, is just asking to die. It's not a good time. This DT is actually getting kills now, finding random Lings out in the middle of the map. Look at these Lings. They're just like, we'll just stand here amongst the blood of our brethren, I guess. Ooh, they have Burrow. That's good stuff. I like that they have Burrow. Meanwhile, DTs are getting into the 4th base. There's detection, but there's nothing to stop the massacre. Okay. All right. This is not looking good. This is looking really bad for Soma, actually. These DTs putting in work. 5 kills on that one. 9 kills on that one. Finally going down to the responding army. Attacking on in. Bisu coming into the natural base. There are Defilers present. Some Plagues would be really good. Dark Swarm, not bad either. And that does force Bisu back. He's like, ooh, Dark Swarm. Not interested in Dark Swarm, thank you very much. That's the shuttle. They got the DTs in there, and a lot of drones went down. 161 to 103 supply in favor of Bisu. I just don't see this ending up well at all for Soma. I kind of like what he's doing. I like that he's making a ton of Lurkers. He's got Defilers in the mix for Dark Swarm. He's got all the pieces he needs here, but he's just outnumbered so immensely. I don't know, some free Zealots counts. Any damage you can take and hold on to is fantastic. Kind of feel like Bisu wants to take this middle base, which is never taken unless you're ahead or unless it's late game. Which very well, I don't know, Bisu could feel confident enough to do it at this stage. Reavers in production, Kadarian Amulet coming in. Speed for shuttles. Oh, Observer movement, that's Gravitic Drive. Gravitic Booster versus Gravitic Drive. Yeah, they are close, man. They are close in names. Ooh, some free Observers if there are any Hydras that take advantage of it, and they have detection, but nope. Not so much. Trying to come up this ramp is not going very well. That said, this Lurker doing some work against those Zealots, but once he takes direct damage, he's toast. Nice Plague, a huge Plague, catching a lot of those Zealots, decreasing their effectiveness by about half, which is just brutal. Ugh, don't like to see that at all. Zerglings cruising down to the south here, drone in production too. Drone heading down, probably trying to establish a 5th base, but we've been 4-basing to 4-basing against Bisu for a while now. We should have expanded some time ago. And here comes Bisu. He decides he can handle this. The Lings are doing a pretty good job buffering for the Lurkers. And you know what? The Lurkers actually clean that up. 5 kills, 1 kill, 4 kills. And again, a lot of these Zealots are wounded, right? All this red and yellow down here means they are having a rough time. Corsair group never gotten much bigger than about 5 or 6 here. We got 4 total cruising around just trying to find random overlords to murder. Soma's 5th base is in production. Our engagement down here on the right side is still happening. This is our battlefield right now. Ling's running up. I guess they're bait, right? You just throw down additional plagues on these gateway units, hurting them immensely. Dragoon, don't come through here. It's dangerous. But he survives because he has a lot of HP. The Zealots do find the 5th base. They're going to shut that down for sure. There's no saving this. And the cancel happens. The drone stays alive, though, and the Hydras and Lings come in to try to deal with the Zealots. The Zealots have +3 attack. And, ooh, the Hydras don't have any attack upgrades at all. The Lings have +1 melee, which is nice. Someone's making 10 Overlords at a time, recognizing, all right, I never want to be supply blocked again. Can we make that happen? And the answer is yeah. Let's make a whole ton of Overlords, and you should be just fine. So I like the map awareness we've got from Bisu. He has units pretty much everywhere, with the exception of this base right here, which is being held by a burrowed Zergling, which means that Bisu can't expand there even if he wanted to. I think he'd rather take the top left-hand corner anyway, but 194 to 144. I mean, Soma, he's been down about 50 supply for a while, but he hasn't gotten more down than that. But the Archons are present, and the Archons will laugh at your Zerglings. They will just laugh at them forever and ever. It's very sad, actually. It's kind of a bullying situation. All right, so Lurkers burn themselves on the high ground. Dark Swarm comes up a little bit prematurely as Bisu. Is he going to come up here? He should try. I honestly think he should. These drones are flirting with death, wandering right past the Protoss army. But they do manage to get the heck on out of there. Spire coming in from Soma. Bit of a late Spire. And there it is. I don't know what he's teching into. Mutalisk, maybe? But with the number of Dragoons and Archons out, that seems like a dumb idea. All right, Reavers attacking on into the 3rd base. Bam, big-time hits. Big-time Reaver hits. Hydralisks getting taken down by the Storm here. This might just be the end of the 3rd base. I don't think that Soma can hang on to this. He's got Hydras coming up the right side, flanking with Lurkers here too. Attack up the top. We got some Lings storming that mineral line is just brutal. Coming up from the south side too, though. Some Hydras and Lurkers trying to get something done. Burrowing Lurkers right among these Dragoons, and you know what? That might actually work out. The Lings doing serious damage against the Dragoons after getting wiped out by these Reavers, who are putting in work, mind you. Ah, morphing in an Archon right in front of those Reavers so Lings can't get in to attack them at all. That is just incredible stuff. Yeah, these Reavers are functionally immortal right now. I don't know if they're going to die. Archon has 12 kills. Oh, Reaver goes down. I jinxed it. I jinxed the Reaver, but another one is still here. Overlords, I don't think there's drop lords necessarily, but this is a pretty intense situation. Archon does get picked off. Dark Swarm comes up. And the final Dragoon gets picked out there. Shuttle continues to cruise on over, trying to find other stuff to do. Maybe wipe out some of the drones in the top right-hand base. Sure, seems like a plan. Bam! Got it. I wish we could see how many kills this Reaver has, because it's got to be a lot. It's 186 to 119 supply. Nya. Nya. Oh, the Scourge takes down the Shuttle. Oh, and the Reaver. As the Reaver gets picked up by it. Ouch. All right, so the Reaver dies before we can tell how many kills it has, but I feel like it's at least, oh, I don't know, 47? Feels like it's 47. The problem for Soma is he didn't lose a base, which is nice, but he lost a ton of drones. He's only on 5 bases, whereas Bisu is sitting on 4 bases. It's not good. He's down 196 to 122 supply right now. His bank is pretty much minimal. He's got 100 minerals and 300 gas sitting there ready to go, but it's not really a ready to go situation, if you know what I mean. This seems like an ill-fated attack into this 5th base, or this 4th base of Bisu. That ramp's going to get stormed about 100 times. Ooh, nice detection. DT sitting up here. Oh, getting stormed by his buddy, the High Templar. Ouch. Lings rolling on up. There are Reavers ready to go. The Reavers do not care about your Dark Swarm. They laugh at it mockingly. And Bisu kind of cruising around the middle of the map, picking off Overlords, trying to see if there's anything weak he can go after. A bunch of Hydras and Lurkers are here, trying to shut down Bisu's attempt at getting a 6th base, 5th base, warping in up along the left side here. Looks like he finally got rid of that Burrow Zergling that was present. 5 cannons at a time on the way, and really, cannons are pretty great against Zerg, especially in the late game to deal with Ling run-bys and stuff. It's just, sure, you'd think, well, what about Ultralisks, or what about Guardians? And the problem with Guardians versus Protoss is that it's so slow. Guardians are slow, Storm hits hard, and it's really good against slow units. And you just don't generally see Guardians in this matchup, especially in the current meta, you know, 2017, 2018, 2019. Yeah, I mean, Bisu's being patient here, but Soma just doesn't have the army to hang right now. That's a beautiful plague. It really is. But all his Defilers are going to die. His Scourge are getting picked out of the sky by Archons. They're going after the Observers, but the Observer control is too good. This march of the Protoss is insanely scary. His 3rd base is going to die, which means the 4th base is going to die. But if a Hydralisk flank attack attempt trying to do this, that's how Soma did it previously. It was kind of the attack from multiple positions, but Bisu just has too many units. Too many Archons in the mix here with +3 attack, and that is GG Soma. Taps out, and Bisu storming his own units a little bit here. What the heck is Bisu doing? Little friendly firestorm out of Bisu there after his opponent had already left the game. Very strange indeed, but hey, who am I to question the greatest Protoss player of all time? I'm not anyone. 13 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills. The Archon's doing some pretty good work here today. Not enough, man. Not enough Hydras. Not enough Hydras, not enough Lurkers. The composition was correct. The idea was correct. The strategy was correct. He just didn't have the macro to hang with Bisu. And overall, Bisu was patient, right? And Soma held. He held a couple times pretty darn well, especially up here with the attack coming in towards his natural, with the Dark Swarm coming in just in time and really shutting down Bisu's attempt to get in there. But in the end, too many Archons, not enough Hydralisks. I don't think the upgrades were good enough either, really. I know it says 0-0, but that's not accurate. Might have been like a 2-1 or something, but Protoss were definitely better. All right, so GG to Soma, but Bisu got your win here today. Final score, again, reflects the outcome. 185,000 points for Bisu, 156,000 for Soma. 628 Zerg units produced in 23 minutes. That's pretty good. Ended up losing 464 of them, killing 138. The ratio is just not good there. Structures is again weird for PBZ, and overall, Bisu, he just got bases faster, saturated them faster, and never lost a base. Did he lose any probes in this game? I want to think. Maybe one. Maybe there was one where it was scouting, and then Soma killed it, but I don't think any bases went down. No serious attacks were ever launched against any of his nexuses, and that's kind of a huge deal. If you're going to kill Bisu, you got to do that. You got to shut down his bases with, Dark Swarm attacks with Lings and Lurkers, and maybe before a ton of Reavers show up. Seems how you want to do that. But gas mined 1,000 or more for Bisu, about 2,000 more minerals mined, and total spent about 3,000. So nothing major, but definitely enough. Definitely enough to make a whole bunch more Archons and Reavers and Storm and call it a day. So good one. Good game. Bisu is your winner, and that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.